Let's talk about physical silver confiscation. You think it can happen? I think it can happen because if they can confiscate guns, they can confiscate silver. And just make it illegal. So even if you can't trade it in someplace, what do, right? I guess it comes down to there's always an underground economy, but it doesn't really work that way. And I'm going to say this. And I've been reading a lot of rumors about what's coming up. I read all the rumors for the last so many decades, and I read so many rumors that something was going to be in place by 1995, the year 2000, the year 2001, the year 2002. And a lot of times it looks like the elite don't get their way. I know that. They actually underestimate a lot of things. But don't underestimate them, and don't actually... don't be a chicken. That's all I got to say, and probably that's what it is. Now, I know when people go on YouTube, they're looking for information. They're basically saying, what's going on, what can we do, and everybody's bitching back and forth, and it's actually like a feel-good session in a lot of ways. Now, I can't put out on here a lot of stuff, because it probably would violate YouTube's... It would violate YouTube's policy. And then, I could be telling you all this cool stuff, but I can't tell you all this cool stuff. So this is more like a psychological type of thing, okay? But, you look, I always say, actually, I'm going to tell you this. The elite don't all think the same way. I don't know all the elite are some kind of garbage, but nobody thinks the same way. Nobody does, So, there's people that are very powerful in the United States that want the United States down, and some want the United States up. Some are for gun control, some are not for gun control. That's how it is. So, there's always somebody you can find that's pretty much along your way of thinking. But I do want to point this out. Pure common sense. If they can confiscate guns, they can confiscate silver. If you don't have a gun to protect yourself, what the hell's going to stop them from taking anything you have, including your property? Like in China, for instance. Like in China, he's a good example. They don't have guns there. They got brooms and fireworks and stuff, right? A company that is basically connected to the families that are around the government. Does that sound familiar? They want all these residential areas because they're going to put a highway through there, or they're going to run a dam through there. The hell with it. They pay them so much for the property, whether it's worth more or not, and they have to accept it, or else they're screwed. Now, if they were armed, done, right? So, it can go beyond silver. It can go beyond everything you own, period. And, this isn't really like a Christian thing, per se. It actually goes way back. Here's a nun riding a bicycle. So, for all the Christians, I don't know. I'm Catholic, and I don't know. I think this is a funny picture anyway. Ha ha, right? But anyway, if you're actually thinking about, was this nation, the United States, formed upon, like, Christian beliefs? I know a lot of people were Christians, and they were all basically Christians, and for pretty much all of them, right? But it wasn't really founded upon, like, Christianity per se. Basically, government was to stay out of religion, and they weren't supposed to exercise prohibit the free exercise of religion. That's all they had to say about religion. Actually, the American government was actually closely related to the constitutional republic of Rome. Maybe it wasn't a constitutional republic, but the Republic of Rome. Republic of Rome had individuals, free citizens that were farmers, and they were independent because they grew their own food and they had their own arms. They were totally independent. That's one reason I think hemp, industrial hemp and medicinal marijuana is really your savior, bigger than anything. But you need guns. Actually, you need guns far more than silver. But if they can confiscate guns, which you can actually use to shoot back at them with, they can definitely confiscate your silver. No, it'd be easy as pie. Easy. No matter where you turned it in, they tax the crap out of it. 50% tax. What the hell? If once the freaking government has the force, or let's not call it the government, let's call it the powers behind the government, the money powers behind the government, and they use the government as their tool of their force. They're forced to inflict their will over everybody else. Once they have the power of force and weapons, your physical silver means nothing. See, this is one area, and people get mad at me for this, but this is one area I totally disagree with Brother John F. Even though I don't think he's bad or something, totally disagree with him. How the hell is physical? We're gonna come into this happy day like reset, and you're just gonna turn in your silver and you're gonna be saved. Hell no, hell no. If there's a reset, what's gonna happen is it's gonna be chaos, catastrophe. It's not gonna be nice, and you need weapons to protect yourself, and you need weapons to protect your silver. You're not gonna have silver if you don't have weapons. Now, speaking of weapons. I can't talk about every damn thing on YouTube. It's more like a psychological... what I do is I give out common sense, and common sense goes a lot further than a lot of BS graphs. I give out common sense advice on financial things, but common sense actually goes a lot further. But as far as what's coming up with this fiscal cliff, I think it's going to be designed to actually cause problems. I don't think it's just partisan bickering, ball back and forth. I think there's like a method to the madness, let's call it that way, with the fiscal cliff. And actually, you might see gold and silver go up pretty good during this. That's what I would think, because they're going to have to run out of the dollar into hard assets. But gun control is going to be part of that too. But if you're for physical silver, you're for physical guns. And this is what I wanted to get at with guns. If they make this illegal, that illegal, and all this other crap illegal, and all this kind of garbage, just remember, you got a gun to defend yourself. Do you want a bolt action, or do you want the best? You take the best. I always take the best. If it's me or them, I'm not going to give them an advantage. Screw that. I take the best. I want the best for me, and I plan to use it, and I will have used stuff. Okay? I don't play games. And, I'm not like... See, this is where I differ from some of these people that go around with, oh, well, it'll work out because the Bible says in here... No. I don't want to hear that garbage. Because before there was the Bible, there was Rome. Before there was Jesus, there was Rome. And it didn't get formed, it did not become the great power it was because people were sitting back like a bunch of idiots waiting for things to fall in their lap and saying, oh, okay, Sarah, whatever it will be, like Doris Day to Kook, right? That didn't happen that way. They fought for what they needed, and they protected what they had. So you don't take a bolt action, it's like taking a knife to a gunfight. You take the best. That's my advice on that, so without getting specific. But basically, YouTube in a video on this, I'm showing a girl here with, on a stationary trainer or something, but, basically like our economy, it's probably going to be sitting in limbo forever. But, don't even worry about the numbers on the economy. There's always ways to make money. Always. I can't say a lot of stuff on here, I make money. Someplace here and there, whatever, and it's like people look at something like, oh, the Department of Homeland Security got like a gazillion weapons and ammunition and stuff. Oh, what are they doing with that? Well, just think of it as yours. Take it. You pay taxes, right? It's yours. Thanks. I don't know what the hell, how far I could say on here, but like say for instance, you got this big robber baron, gulag operator or some garbage in the United States, You're not going to be able to get at that person per se, but, there's trucks that go in and out of his operations. There's water that feeds something over there. There's a lot of shit you can do. Just be, anytime somebody is against you, screw them up. That's all I got to say. You can do it, but talk don't get you anywhere. Don't get you anywhere. The big problem is, everybody looks at, say, actually on this audience, for the most part, everybody's probably like, against gun control and stuff. But you look at Dianne Feinstein, I mean, she didn't just like rig the whole election. A lot of people voted for it. There's a lot of people that are all for gun control. They're idiots. They're idiots. You know, I'm all into health, natural healing, and stuff. I mean, I'm not into like killing people, but I know damn well what the deal is. That the gun ain't gonna go away. It's just all going in the hands of the power that wants to screw everybody else over. You know, the power that's like the pharmaceutical bastards, the medical community that has no interest in healing. The medical community, if it was run by, a few people up on the top for major profits, hell, they just go out and shoot anybody who was trying to freaking do alternative medicine, Even if they were, healing people for $10, you got to take our, approved elitist method, which costs you $300,000. We want everything you own, So, you don't have a gun, you don't have any freedom, period. And you might as well take the best of the best because, if Dianne Feinstein said, hey, everything's illegal. So just do whatever you got to do, man. I mean, if they told you the air is illegal, are you going to stop breathing? Go right ahead. I know you wouldn't because that would be painful right now. Something that might be painful later, they'll set the trap up for you and then they'll get you later. That's the way it works. So, basically what I put out here is more of a psychological type thing. But just remember, there's a lot of shrewd ways to get at the bastards on the top. There's a gazillion ways. And, just think of any of these elite people with all their wealth as yours. It's your wealth. It's your wealth. It's your wealth. You can take it anytime you want. It's right there. I mean, hey, I don't know. I'm not saying to do anything wrong now. But understand, I mean, really. Come on. I mean, with people afraid to take action. And I think the people actually are I think they're fake Christians. That's what I call them. I think most Christians that call themselves Christians are a bunch of fakes. If you're really true Christian, I got a lot of respect for you, but I think that's in a minority. That's in a minority. Most Christians only get pissed off and all bent out of shape if they say something against Jesus. But if you do something like, take away all the guns in the world or some shit like that, oh, no, that's okay. We're pacifists. No, you're not pacifists. You're idiots. And that's why I have a problem with, people who are telling you about physical silver is your only safety and your only recourse. Yet, guns? No. Bullshit. Actually, guns are far more important than silver. Far more. And, I invested in lots of bullets and reloading equipment and guns before I ever freaking... I always had some silver. But I know priority, when it comes right down to hardcore, what the hell do I want more than anything? Guns. Guns. That's the most important thing. And it's actually about protecting me in my own self-interest. I'm not one of these people out there, I got to save the women and children. Because a lot of times, I don't even care. I think of me and me first. That's the way everybody should really think. Because actually it works out better like that, to tell you the truth. It's when you got all these types of people trying to reason about things and compromise. You don't compromise. That's your protection. That's like saying, you're out in the middle of the ocean and somebody throws you a life raft. You say, no, I don't want that. That's what you're doing when you're throwing away your gun. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. And the only reason you have that is to use it too. So if you get threatened by some powers that be, use it. Use it, baby. Use it. What the hell? What do you think this is, man? This is a free country. It doesn't have to be a free country. You're a free person. So, I don't know. I mean, there's only so much I could say on here, but I could probably make you feel really good about all the slick ways you could freaking get over on bullshit, but I mean, I just can't put it out here. But that's what I call this YouTube. It's basically psychological update. Psychological update. Think outside the box. Think outside the box. Don't be afraid to, because some little Nazi freaking dictator up there in the DHS says some bullshit. I mean, what are you going to do? Bend over to that crap? I'm going to tell you another thing. A lot of people on YouTube that are into the guns and stuff too, they're like anti not Jewish, but anti-Zionist, whatever you want to call it. You know, I'll criticize Jews sometimes too, and I know what you're talking about with Israel. Sometimes they get heavy-handed, but I can talk about this too long, and you're gonna think I'm too much leaning on the side of Israel. But you know what? Say, for instance, I was a German back in 1939, and I was told to gather up these Jews or some shit. I could scam. I could scam. I don't have to listen to nobody. You know what I mean? And that's just what you ought to be doing today. The DHS, they're Nazis. They're Nazis. And they're looking to freaking purge everybody out of there that, might not go along with something. But there's a lot of shrewd ways you can get over on stuff. You can. But just, I just hope that in this backlash against the powers that be, that the average patriot, quote unquote, does not start turning anti-Semitic. Because that's going to piss me the hell off big time. Because I'll protect Jews all the way. That's no bullshit. That's no bullshit. I mean, I'll give them shit too, but I'm not going to give them that much shit because I ain't against them. That's the deal. That's the deal. So I know sometimes, depends on who the hell it is, they get a little too anti-Semitic. And just watch for that kind of crap, because this New World Order shit is not the Rothschilds. Just forget about that shit, because I dug into that crap a long time, and it's not all about the Rothschilds and the Zionists. That's a scam. That's a scam. Watch out for the military freaks. Those people, you don't even know who they are. They're like worse than Nazis, and you got to watch out for that shit. It ain't the Rothschilds. And just remember, if you're a patriot, protect the Jews too. Protect the Jews. That's why you got your. That's why you got your weapon. That's why you got your weapon. Work together. I mean, that's one thing I don't like about the patriot movement. In some elements, they get anti-Jewish or anti-Zionist or whatever. I don't like that. That pisses me off, to tell you the truth.